You know, in our hyper-connected world, cybersecurity is something that's always in the back of our minds. But let's be honest, when you hear the word compliance, what do you think of? Probably a huge annoying checklist, right? A burden? Well, what if we've been looking at it all wrong? Today, we're going to flip that script and reframe compliance, not as a chore, but as one of your biggest business advantages.
Okay, let's start with a number that should really make you sit up. $11.9 trillion. Get this, that's the projected annual cost of global cybercrime by 2025. What's so wild about this number is that it proves cybercrime isn't just some small-time problem anymore. It's a massive global industry, and every single business is a potential target. That's the scale of the fight we're in. So before we can even talk about solutions, we've got to understand the problem. In this first part, we're going to take a look at the modern threat landscape and really see why every business, no matter how big or small, is now on the front lines of this digital battle.
Just think for a second about how much your digital world has exploded. You've got cloud services, remote work, smartphones, IoT devices, you name it. Every single one of those things is like a new door or window into your business. And all these new entry points create what we call an attack surface. And the bigger it gets, the more vulnerable you are. And honestly, the more attractive you look to these sophisticated cybercriminals who are just looking for an easy way.
And it's not just our defenses that have to change. The attackers have totally leveled up. We're not talking about amateur hackers in their parents' basements anymore. We're talking about organized, well-funded criminal groups. Simple viruses, they've been replaced by AI-powered attacks and ransomware that can shut your whole business down. The challenge isn't just about securing one office building anymore, it's about securing a global network of devices. The game has completely, totally changed.
Knowing the threat is one thing, but what happens when you ignore it? What are the real consequences? This is where it gets really serious, because the costs go way beyond just technology. Let's dig into the real price businesses pay when security and compliance get pushed to the back burner.
$3.86 million. According to IBM, that is the average cost of a single data breach. And listen, that's not just for giant corporations. That average includes businesses of all sizes. For a lot of companies, a hit like that isn't just a setback, it's game over.
But, you know, the financial hit is really just the beginning. The damage to your reputation can be way worse. Think about this. After a data breach, a staggering 67% of customers lose trust in that company. That's 2/3 of your customer base suddenly questioning if they want to do business with you. I mean, how many businesses can actually survive that kind of blow?
And if all that wasn't enough, then the regulators come knocking. Non-compliance comes with some seriously heavy penalties. You've got GDPR in Europe, which can fine you up to 20 million euros. HIPAA violations in healthcare, that could be up to $1.5 million a year. And in California, the CCPA can slap you with a $7,500 fine for every single violation. These are not slaps on the wrist. These are business-altering fines.
And this right here, this study from PwC, it just drives the whole point home. It found that 85%, an overwhelming majority of consumers will just walk away if they have any doubts about your security. So this proves it, right? Cybersecurity isn't just some IT problem anymore. It's a core business issue that hits your bottom line and your ability to even stay in business.
Okay, so we've laid out the stakes. The threats are real, the costs are terrifying, but now let's pivot. Let's talk solutions. It's time to stop seeing compliance as a burden and start seeing it for what it truly is, a strategic shield for your business.
So what even is cybersecurity compliance? Well, to put it simply, it's just following the rules and standards that are designed to protect your digital stuff. It's not about ticking boxes for the sake of it. It's a framework that's been built from the tough lessons others have learned, and it gives you a structured defense against all those threats we just talked about.
And when you actually embrace it, the benefits are huge. A strong compliance program, well, it actively reduces the risk of those crazy expensive attacks. It helps you build and maintain that customer trust we just saw was so critical. Obviously, it helps you avoid those crippling legal fines. It can even make your whole operation run more smoothly. Put all that together, and what do you have? A serious competitive advantage.
This is the key mindset shift right here. We have to stop thinking of compliance as just a checklist of annoying rules. Instead, think of it as a roadmap. It's a strategic guide put together by experts that shows you the best and safest path to better security. It helps you see the risks before they become problems and put the right protections in place for your whole organization.
Now, I know this can all seem pretty complex, but we can break it down. Let's just take a quick look at a few of the most common regulations out there to see how this all works in the real world. Okay, so you've got things like GDPR, which is all about protecting the personal data of anyone in the EU, and it doesn't matter where your company is. Then there's HIPAA, which is super focused on protecting sensitive patient health info in the US, and PCI DSS. Well, if you take credit cards, you're dealing with that one. See, each one is specifically designed to protect a certain kind of sensitive data.
So the big question is, how do you actually do this? How do you turn this idea into action? Well, the good news is, there's a pretty clear and straightforward process you can follow to build a framework that actually works for your business.
It really boils down to 4 key steps. First, you have to assess. You need to know where you stand right now to find the gaps. A great pro tip here is to get a third-party audit for an unbiased view. Second, you plan. You build a clear roadmap with deadlines, and you make sure everyone knows who's responsible for what. Third, and this is so important, you train your people. Your team is your first and frankly your best line of defense. And fourth, you monitor. You have to constantly review and improve because security is never a one-and-done project. It is an ongoing process.
And that brings us right back to where we started. As a leader, you really have a choice in how you look at all of this. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Is your approach to compliance just a burdensome checklist you have to suffer through? Or are you ready to turn it into your greatest competitive advantage? The choice, really, is yours.